I'm starting to record.
Brilliant.
Hopefully, it all sticks to the chips, as I always say. I used to say, hopefully, it all sticks to the tape. Who's
Oh,
using tape anymore?
it kind of sounds cooler though, doesn't it? It sounds
It
way
does.
cooler.
Go back to the old analog days. I don't know how they say, oh, yeah, or that it sounds warmer. It's like you got to have really good equipment to hear that, I think.
I think you have to have a mega, mega good sound system to pick that up. I mean, hey, if someone wants to get me a mega good sound system, I will for sure put it to the test, but we'll see.
Do you have a great sound system at the house or anywhere else that you're living?
We have pretty good one in the studio, which is kind of necessary to be fair. So, I mean, that kind of makes sense. But no, at home, it's okay. It's okay. It's nothing to write home about, even though it's at home. It's nothing to write to your home about.
I was covering a Billy Joel concert. I interviewed his lead guitarist, and backstage, his former manager was talking with me. I said, they were talking about re-releasing the Carnegie Hall concert that he did back in 1977, and they were only going to do it on vinyl. And I said to the manager, the former manager, I said, Billy must like have this great sound system. And he's like, you'd be surprised. No, not really. You know,
No way. Well, I think the thing is if you spend a lot of time listening on really nice speakers at home in the studio and stuff, sometimes it's nice to just chill out when you get home. And I think we've got a Sonos system that we just play. I mean, my neighbors would probably say very, very eclectic and sometimes strangely chosen music. But sorry, neighbors. I mean, look,
yeah, the scene in London, and I haven't been there since the mid 90s. It always seemed to be like there's just such a great variety of music that people are
oh,
really into.
so much music. And the music scene is insane. That you could literally listen to a different artist every single day. You could, well, pre-COVID, you could go to different live every day, different genres, and really just explore, pretty much anything you wanted to do. Hopefully, like post-COVID, we'll get back to that. But I mean, for now, I mean, at least we have the good old internet.
Is it really shut down there right now? We're starting to get really back to normal here.
Oh, nice. No, we're still really shut down. I think restaurants and cafes are opening mid-April, but only the outside bits. So everything inside is out. When it comes to live stuff, I've got no idea. We're being kind of held a bit to ransom when it comes to information. I heard a very uplifting rumor that we might have festivals back towards the end of the summer, maybe in autumn or fall. And I don't know. I'm crossing all my fingers and all my toes because I really, really, really want to get back to performing and touring. And it's just such a huge aspect that I haven't we well no musicians have had now for. I mean, oh man, this must be like the anniversary soon.
Yeah, we just passed that 1 year mark, and
Oh God.
it seems like five. I swear.
It does. It feels like if someone said, "When was the last time you did a gig?" I'd be like, "Ooh, I don't know, 3 years ago, maybe four." That's what it feels like.
Yeah, yeah. So starting at the beginning, when you got into this, you were 15 when this was all like sparking and you were saying, "Hey, I could really sing and perform."
Well, yeah. I mean, I basically, as at most teenagers, not a great time at school. So I was writing down loads of, what actually ended up being poetry because I wasn't singing to it, which is effectively lyrics without, and poetry makes it sound very highbrow, but actually it was a pile of rubbish, if I'm honest with you. It was it was shit.
You
But
got to do that at first. You know, it's like you just got to
yeah,
get it on paper. I mean, as a writer,
exactly.
I've done that. Yeah.
Exactly. So just an outlet basically. And then I was really fortunate to do some work experience with um these amazing guys. And actually they are my mentors to this day. But poor guys, and they did not know what they were signing up for at this point. I mean, they're probably kicking themselves now, going, God, why did we do that? Anyway, they basically just introduced me to songwriting, and I was kind of always humming and just like, I loved singing, I loved music, and I just never really put two and two together. Not the sharpest tool in the shed, clearly. And I also additionally never thought it could actually be a career. Like, when you're in school and you have like career day and they're like, oh, okay, so do you want to be like a lawyer or an architect, or how about a scientist? And I was like, oh, music. And they were like, lawyer. And it's just, do you know what I mean? Like, it was never really like a
Yeah.
viable thing. And also, I would have made the world's worst lawyer.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a
It's
very
still
emotional
performance.
person. True, but I am quite emotional as well. So if something was kind of getting quite like, imagine if it was like a serious case and it was really upsetting, I'd be like crying, being like, guys, listen to this. I mean, it could be quite compelling, but possibly not the most professional thing I could have done. Anyway, I'm not a lawyer, and the world breathes a sigh of collective relief. Um, so I basically kind of geared up to do something else. I actually focused really heavily on science, and I basically geared up to follow a science path, which I still love, and I still kind of, as much as I can, keep updated with it because I do just find it really interesting. But I basically started along that route, and I was commuting from the university back to London to write music with people, then go back and do lectures. Missed a lot of lectures, let's be honest. Did more of the music and then basically became this weird like semi. I was so in the middle of everything, and I was so my manager said to me, he was like, look, I think you could really do this, that your music, it's you love writing, but if you want to do science, completely, look, we'll support you. It will, we'll miss you and it'll be a shame, but you've got to do what you want to do, but you can't keep splitting yourself. It's not working. You're not giving 100% to either. And I felt that as well. And it was just, he was saying what I already knew. And it was honestly the easiest decision for me. I was like, it's not even a thought. Like, I was like, cool, what? Okay, I know what I want to do. And so I was like, okay, cool. Well, I guess I better call parents and be like, okay, cool. And there, I don't know. I was all psyched up for this big, like, okay. I actually made little notes. I was like, here are the pros and here are the cons. Like, this is the plan. I made a plan for the year. I was like, cool, I'm ready. So I called them up, and they pick up, and I was like, hey guys, you do the how are you doing? Yeah, all right, how are you doing? So I got to talk to you about something. I am coming home to pursue a career in music. And they were like, yeah, honestly, we don't know why you didn't do this sooner. All right, cool. See you tonight. I was like, what? I was like, but guys, come on, I've like prepared. Please give me some resistance. They were like, no, that's all right. What do you want for dinner? I was like, oh, okay. Um, so, and that was it. It was just like, okay, cool. This is it. And honestly, I've not regretted it. I don't, I would never change it. And actually, to be fair though, I think spending a bit of time, not away from music, but like seeing different people, learning different things, I actually think that worked for me as well. It gave me a lot of different experiences, and I use that in my writing. And I mean, I was always writing for myself at that time anyway, so I don't know. When I was younger, I wanted to release music straight away, but I actually, in hindsight, think it did me a favor. I mean, I've, emotionally come a long way from then, and to be honest, I was a wreck, man. Looking back on it, I was a mess. It's like, if someone tried, like, honestly, if someone kind of shoved me into the performance aspect, that then I don't even know what I would have done. I think it, I think it's come together for me nicely in a very challenging but good challenging way. Not, I think I might lose it. Not like me becoming a lawyer. That would have been an absolute like shit show from start to finish. Oh God. Oh, I'll stick watching the TV shows and I'll experience it that way.
Yeah, yeah, I've seen enough of the legal system. I don't know how it is over there, but yeah, oh, what a mess. It's
Oh yeah. No,
but
that's not
music
something I
business
could
is
do.
tough. Yeah.
It's challenging, but for me it's also how do it's a good challenge. It's a challenge that I love and I'm wake up and want to do. I don't really feel like it's work, if that makes sense. And I know that's such a cliched thing to say, and I kind of want to, you know, vomit in a minute. And don't worry, I will slap myself later. But it's very like greeting card. Doesn't feel like work because I love it, but I
Yeah.
wish it wasn't true, but it is.
We all tend to go through that. So what is the writing process for you like? What inspires you and gives you the spark to sit down and say, "Oh yeah." Do you immediately start putting stuff on the phone or start writing down on napkins lyrics and ideas?
Well, I actually on my phone I have a like a note page that something honestly I could be doing anything and just go, oh that's cool. I'll write it down. Will I use it? Maybe, maybe not. Like some of them have sat there for years and I've never taken anything off it because you never know. So kind of I get ideas randomly through the day and also from my own experiences as well. Like most things I write, I'd say almost all of the things I write are from my own experiences because I feel like I can connect with that a lot better and actually describe the situation, the emotions, the outcomes. All of that comes to me a lot easier and a lot quicker if it's something that I've personally experienced or someone close to me has experienced and I know of it. So I mean, for me, I'm a computer writer. I my writing is appalling, and I make so many changes. I end up with a page of crossings out, squiggles, and when it comes to reading it, you're like, oh, that's no, that's that. So I just eventually I was like, look, I love the idea of writing, but at the end of the day, like I can't read it, so it's a little bit pointless. So I'm a computer writer, so I always write on my computer, and I keep all the lyrics on the cloud, wherever that is based. Not in the sky, but somewhere. I think some data bank somewhere. Something
Some
really
aliens have it.
unsexy. I know, really like uncreative. Some massive computer bank somewhere. But that's normally how it works for me. I normally start with concepts, like the situation or the story, basically, because I feel like if I know where I'm going, I can figure out my way there. If I don't, it's a bit of like to me, it's a bit of a shot in the dark. It's like we could literally go anywhere here. And so I like to kind of narrow it down and really kind of focus in on the lyrics and any kind of like little twists that we want to put in there or stuff like that. Which makes it sound a lot more thought goes into that a lot more thought goes into it than it does, to be honest. I think it just when you're with people, you just bounce off people, and I don't know, I don't really think about it too much. It just all comes together beautifully when I'm with people when we get on and we're on the same page, excuse the pun, and like the same kind of energy in the room. Sometimes it just honestly, it's like bam, okay, there's a song. It's like, whoa, should we get lunch? Like, what happened?
How does the melody come to you? Are you trained on any instruments or just do you hear melodies in your head and start humming them and the musicians take over from there?
both. I have done music theory, and I learned violin when I was younger. I think my mum thought it was cute until she heard me practice, and then she was like, "We have made a mistake." Although she didn't do the drums though, so that could have been worse. Although she does say that for the first kind of year, it sounded like a cat was slowly trying to kill her vocally. I think she was happier once things progressed slightly. So I have that as a background, but to be honest, I don't really. Obviously, I that kind of helped kind of introduce me to music and train my hearing for it, but I don't really use it very much now. I now just, I'll work with someone will come and play some chords, and we'll, you start humming things. Voice recordings are key because I always forget. You'll go, oh, that was cool. They're like, oh, sing it again. I'm like, no, I can't. So voice recordings all the way. And just kind of, for me, it just builds up, and I'll sing something and someone will add something onto it, and you're like, oh, that's great. Or they'll sing something and someone will go, oh, what about that middle bit? We just changed that slightly. And it's that kind of collaborative process that, I love. I really don't work alone very much, actually. I find it quite hard because I second guess, triple guess, quadruple guess. I will literally spend hours mulling over maybe two lines and going, don't know about that. And then I change it so much, it's like, oh, I don't know about that. And then eventually it's like, you go back to the original and you're like, oh yeah, that was better. It's just it's so frustrating sometimes. But I think it happens with any creative works. If you look at it for too long, you will change it, and you may regret that.
Yeah, I think a collaboration is really what's key and so successful with the body of work that you've been producing. You're all over YouTube. I see that you get a lot of hits there. Your latest is it High Season, or do you have another single beyond that one now?
No, that's the latest one, and I have another single coming out hopefully quite soon. So fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Yeah.
Yeah.
High Season is been described as your very personal tune. How personal is that to you? How did that come about?
It's pretty personal, in that for me it means one thing, but I think maybe for the people who I wrote it with, and people listening, it probably means something completely different. Um, they also, the interesting thing is that the co-writers, who are amazing, by the way, they may have had a whole different story in their head, but it just so happened to align with what everyone else in the room was also thinking. So for me, it's I've always been very open about kind of mental health, my own adventures, and continued roller coaster, I would say, that it is. And for me, there's kind of this quite elusive feeling of it's quite euphoric. I think every now and again you feel this kind of euphoric happiness, and for me, this song is about trying to chase that. And I'm very, I take medication for to help kind of balance out my emotive state and my depression, anxiety, and stuff. And for me, it's a bit of a story behind that as well. And I know people who've listened to it and gone, oh, she loves weed. I'm like, it's not about that for me. But if someone listens to it and goes, oh yeah, no, that reminds me of that time that I went to this festival and got really high and I loved it and had the best time. It's like, great, like brilliant. I didn't write it so that people must listen to it in my frame of mind. What I love about music in general is that I can write this thing and I think this when I'm writing it or listening to a song, and you listen to it and you think something completely different that I would never have guessed and never have thought of. But we can still share that moment, if that makes sense. Sounds very cheesy again. Oh my God, am I a cheesy person? Maybe I am. I actually might be.
Yeah, I think as you get older though, you're so much less conscious of that stuff. You just let it go. The years just
Yeah.
fly and you'll be like, I don't
I'm
care.
gonna start doing the dad jokes, like, now I'm gonna get the practice in. You never know. By the time actually, but then maybe by the time if I do have children, maybe I'll be too good at the dad jokes and they won't be dad jokes anymore. And there's a balance to be found here.
Totally. And it's nothing, I mean, I think you have a great connection with that kind of song and people saying, yeah, I get it. I have that anxiety. I'm doing medication. I'm doing therapy. And even big rock stars. I mean, Bruce Springsteen came out in his 2016 autobiography about how he's been dealing with it. You think, wow, the boss. I mean, gosh, he goes from these very highs on stage, but once he's off the stage, crash. It's like you wouldn't believe that.
It's crazy, and actually, but I think it's amazing that people are becoming so open about it, because I mean, one of the problems is the kind of the stigma, the guilt, the shame, the kind of feeling that something's wrong with you, or blah blah blah. But actually, when you're heroes and like musical idols and celebrities and even even your mate like Bob around the corner comes out and goes, oh man, I've been having a really shit time actually. I'm seeing a therapist and it's really helping. You kind of go, oh Bob, mate, I thought you're always super happy. I thought you had it together. And it's just like, it's great because everyone presents this outward facade, and sometimes it's not a facade. Sometimes you are just feeling really great, but you often feel like if someone says to you, oh, how are you feeling, your automatic response goes, yeah, great, thanks, how are you. You don't really go, oh well, I'm okay, I've been having some strange kind of ups and downs recently. But you don't really feel like you should say that, perhaps, depending on who you're talking to, obviously. So I think when people come out and actually share their story, it really makes people go, oh, I'm not messed up. This is a thing. Great. Okay, so he's seeing a therapist. Maybe I should see a therapist, And I think that conversation just needs to keep happening. And I think, yeah, I mean, look, lockdown and stuff has been tough for people who suffer and people who don't suffer as well. Actually, they've found themselves in quite similar situations mentally and gone, wow, this sucks. And I think continuing that conversation is really important, especially now when people are perhaps feeling even worse or experiencing this for the first time. Like, it's tough. And I mean, yeah, thanks lockdown, it's really helpful. It's been brilliant.
With performing though, and I'm sure you're willing, speaking of quarantining and everything like that, so I'm sure you're wanting to get back to that. What was that like when you first started out performing? And did you start out in the London clubs and then took off from there?
Yeah, so I started off in London. I remember the first proper gig I did. My knees were shaking, my legs were literally shaking. They were literally shaking. And I didn't, like, I moved my arms and stuff, but my feet, you could have basically planted me in that area. My legs just refused to move. I was like, come on, let's and they were like, no, we're scared. But actually, as the show went on, it got everything loosened up, and but it was just the first time was, it was a whole mix of emotions. But then I still get nervous. I still get nervous. Especially if it's a big venue or something. But it's always the 5 minutes before, and then as soon as I get the first line in, I love it. Like, that's it. It's as long as the first line, and I've always said that to my band. I'm like, first line is important. So everyone, I can almost feel them behind me going, first line, and I'm like, okay, we've got it. And then we just like, and then it's like, honestly, the feeling for me is just amazing. And then but then conversely, like you said with Mr. Springsteen, you do get the drop after a concert. Yeah, when you've seen these people, you've connected with them, there's loads of energy in the venue, yeah, feeling amazing. All right, get on the tour bus.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, great. That can we maybe get a drink before we go? No, service station on the way. All right, cool. You know what I mean? Like, the gradient is so dramatic and abrupt. It's like, whew, okay, Okay, cool. Well, let's get going, I guess. Do you know, I get why people struggle after concerts. I definitely have. That big drop is can be quite disconcerting as well. But I mean, it weighs out, man. I would not, even because anything to do with that, I take it any day of the week. I miss performing so much. It's oh, I think I think I might get nervous. I get really nervous for the next one. I get really nervous and be like, okay, I haven't done this for a while, like warming up, stretching out.
Is that like a pre-stage ritual? I mean, everybody has that. Is there something
Yeah.
you go through?
I normally I try and temper my excitement a little bit because I get really excited, but then I also get very nervous. Not very nervous, quite nervous. So I try and temper that a bit. I vocal warm-ups. I did one gig without and my voice broke, so never do that again. Um, you live and learn, don't you? And then just to be honest, I tend to just run through the first song in my head and just like I said, it's that first line, and I just as long as I get that first line and I'm happy, I'm like, great, here we go. No, it's literally like cast off. Let's get this ship sailing. Um,
Funny.
that's I don't really have. I mean, I know people who have very specific rituals. Um, I actually am quite I can get sucked into these things very easily. So and then end up becoming a little bit obsessive over it. So I tend to try and not go too far in terms of ritual because I'll get a bit I can get a bit obsessed over it. And if it doesn't go right, the ritual, it will throw me off for whatever task I'm doing. So I try to keep it quite loose.
So if you have, as far as your touring goes, where have you been? Have you been strictly throughout the UK, Europe, and beyond?
Well, UK and Europe, I think, have been, yeah, they've been the main places. I mean, I have aspirations and dreams to go everywhere, basically. I'd love to go to the US, which I just, I think that would be, oh, oh. You've got
Once,
some great venues, and like, oh, and the great thing about the US is that you are one big nation. Um, is
huge.
it the nation? I'd say it's a
Yeah.
country. It's a country. Yeah, cool. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, clearly I didn't do geography as one of my interests. Anyway,
Yeah.
I no, I mean I've been lucky enough to visit a couple of places, and I just remember thinking that especially in some kind of I've never been to Nashville, but I mean LA and New York, and just the scene there is insane. And I just remember I just got there and I was like, I've got to play here at some point. I don't know when and I don't know how, but I'm gonna play here.
Yes, yes, yes. You'll make it. You'll make it. Once you make it in New York, I mean, it will spread from there. Then definitely you hit those clubs. Yeah.
Fingers crossed. Oh God, it's such a dream. Oh, I'll let
Absolutely.
you know. I'll keep you updated.
Absolutely. So the type of venues you've played in, is it huge dance clubs, auditoriums,
Bit of
open
both, to be
arenas?
honest. Like, literally, bit of everything. Some larger venues, some much smaller venues, some clubs. You know, just honestly, a bit. Some festivals, some outdoor festival things. I mean, honestly, yeah, name it, I'll play it. I'm not. I'm not picky. Especially after this, when someone said, right, we've got a stage in a car park, I'm like, yes. Like I've gone over a year without performing. I mean, you literally anywhere. I will perform anywhere at this point.
So through the pandemic, what have you been doing? You been doing like live stuff on YouTube, Facebook Live, those kind of like mini concerts by yourself?
I've done a couple. I've done a few and a few kind of collaborative ones as well. What I have been doing a lot of though is writing. I've been doing a lot of Zoom sessions, which I've now gotten quite used to. When I first started, I was not a fan, honestly. And but then when they first started, we were also told that the pandemic, at that point, it wasn't a pandemic. It was the virus was only going to last maybe like 2, 3 weeks. And I was like, okay, cool. I'll just take 2, 3 weeks off and focus on my live stuff. Ironic, isn't it? And get all the admin, boring metadata and everything, all of that sorted for two weeks. And when everything's back to normal, I'll just carry on. Of course, that was pretty naive to have thought that, and in hindsight, a little bit stupid. So here we are, and I've been doing loads of Zoom sessions. You learn to love them. But actually, one good thing though that has happened through the pandemic is because Zoom has become the primary kind of session location, as it were. You can actually work with anyone from anywhere. So I've been like lucky enough to be working with people from the US, from India, Australia, you name it. Like you could work with anyone, and because it's become such like the norm now, you get to work with such amazing talent from anywhere instead of just being restricted to who's around you, who can visit you, who's visiting your country at the time. It's endless, it's limitless. So I think that's been a really amazing silver lining, actually. And hopefully that continues, actually. That's one thing that I hope continues, because I don't know when travel is going to become a normal thing again. And don't get me wrong, I would totally, like, if someone said, would you rather have a Zoom session or a face-to-face? I go face-to-face every single time. But it's a decent second best ish.
Yeah. It's good. All these tools have been. I think somebody a performer on your level, though, it's a good tool. It's getting your name out there. YouTube's definitely working that way in your advantage too. So the technology is great, but yeah, it's like, but there's nothing like that.
Yeah, it's definitely not a replacement. I agree.
Especially collaborating. Do you trade files and then they mix it somewhere? Is that all?
Yes.
Other?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of voice note sharing. You basically, what I normally do is we have Zoom up, and we also have a WhatsApp group together. And you kind of go, oh, okay, I'm just going to put myself on mute. I've had an idea, and you send it to them via a voice note. And otherwise, because I mean, whilst there's not really a discernible lag while you're talking, if someone's playing music and you're trying to sing to it to illustrate an idea, it's all over the shop. So there's a couple of really good audio sharing things as well online, audio movers. You basically add it as a plugin to your DAW, and it streams to the people with the link almost instantly. Actually, there's really little lag, or little to no delay. So things like that have been really useful. But I mean, like we said, there's no replacement for being in a studio, really. So
You have some really talented people you've worked with too. Some of them worked with huge names. That just it's an impressive resume. What's it
I
like?
mean, there's some crazy talent out there, honestly.
Yeah, they've done just remarkable work. And then, when you see that, I'm sure you're blown away when you get the final mix. It's like, wow, they've auto-tuned, they've done all this layering.
Oh, yeah.
Magic.
It's crazy. It's magic. No, it is. And you kind of, you have all these like ideas and hopes, and you kind of have it in your head what you hope this song will sound like. And then you get it back and you're like, wow, oh my God. I'm in awe of people. When it comes back, I'm like, oh, what have you done in the best way? How is this possible? Well, I tend to try and like be as involved in the process as possible, because I I really like to kind of, I don't like to kind of let the song go and then kind of not come back to it until the very end, because I do have like an idea normally of what I want it to kind of sound like or become. But it's amazing when you're working with let's say some amazing guys and girls, and they go, oh, have you thought about this? I'm like, oh no, well what's that? And they put it on, you're like, tell me what that is again, because I love it. It's I feel very fortunate to be working with people who've done these amazing things. I'm definitely not up there on their their top credit, but it's amazing. And yeah, maybe one day, but for now it's just working with these guys and all of these incredibly talented musicians, producers, mixing, mastering, engineers. Whew, I feel very lucky, that's for sure.
How did you get hooked up with some of these big names like Gil Lewis or Toby Scott? Who connected you with it? You've just been in the music scene so long now; it's word of mouth.
um it's just honestly just by meeting people and being in sessions with people, and sometimes it's not a session for you, it's actually a writing session for someone else, and then you meet someone, you get on so well, and you're like, oh, maybe we should hook up and do a session together. Or and you hear someone's music and they're like, oh, I think you'd be great to work with so and so. It's really word of mouth. um Obviously you've got kind of management teams also who hook you up with people who they think you'd work well with, which often goes really well as well. It's really a bit of both. And then once, if you meet someone and get on well with them, you may go into another session and there's someone else there as well, and it is literally like it's like the whole thing. If you say to someone, oh, I just worked with so and so, they go, oh, I know so and so, he worked with blah, 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 she worked with blah, blah. It's a whole network of people that I think it's really like it's a really connected, very sociable industry, I would say. Very sociable industry.
Definitely worked out for you as well. Another great single you've done is NYC. You must have been really mesmerized when you have visited, or your memories of it.
Great memories, great memories. Just yeah, that place is just amazing. I mean, I was born and raised in a city myself, so I do love a good city. I
Yeah,
do
it's what you
enjoy
need.
a good metropolitan area.
Was it
um
London proper? Were you that close in, like, near
yep.
Piccadilly and places like that?
Yeah, yeah. So bang in the middle. And yeah, no, I loved growing up here. So then visiting, somewhere like New York, which is unique in its own way, and just, I mean, also got to film a video there, which was
Yeah, yeah. Is that
I
what's
just
it like doing videos? You got some acting chops too, like a lot of performers.
oh no,
It's getting
actually
there.
I don't. I don't think I'm very good at acting at all. I won't be one of those musicians who moves over to films, I think.
Oh, really?
No,
Not
I
like
get
David Bowie.
quite I'm I'm quite self-conscious, especially, I was doing a video, and there was this lovely guy who was also in the video. We were basically meant to be together, and I was just like, oh, I don't think I could do this. And they were like, no, no,
It's
hold
pretty
hold hold.
authentic.
Yeah, they were like, oh, hold his hand. I was like, okay, cool, 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 cool. And I was like, my hand's a little bit sweaty. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm really nervous. And he was like, it's cool, don't worry about it. I was like, oh no. It was really honestly, and I just kind of at that point I was like, and I honestly, they were like, do you guys, could you get a bit closer? I was like, no. And the problem was he is also very good looking, so I'm kind of going, no, I don't think I can. And it was so I was texting. I called my boyfriend after the shoot, and I had a picture of me and my fake boyfriend. I was like, "Here's me and my fake boyfriend. What do you think?" It was like,
That's got to
yeah.
be
So
hard for actors. Yeah, I can't
I don't
imagine.
know how they do it. Like
Yeah.
honestly, I have no idea. I'm very in awe of how they do it. Like when I watch a music video or a film and they're like filming a romantic scene, I'm like, how?
Yeah, you have
Oh.
a jealous partner or your husband or wife at home, and like,
Yeah, I mean, to
how
be
do
fair,
you?
my boyfriend was like, "Go for it." He was like, "Yeah, whatever." It doesn't bother me like at all. And I was like, "Okay, yeah, thank you," but I personally know, like, I don't know. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I mean, maybe after like a significant amount of maybe wine, I could consider it, but I also think that might hinder other things too. So I was like, you know what? We settled on like the holding hands, some like some hugs, and
Yeah,
like, you know, being close. I can't. I did say, I said before the shoot, I was like, I can't. I thought about it. I really thought about it, and I was like, if they asked me to try, do you think I would? I was like, no, I just don't think I can. I know that sounds really that sounds really lame, but I was
Yeah, that's okay. It's okay. You're just finding
yeah,
your niche. That's great.
yeah. We'll see. We'll see.
Where is Electric Sun now? That's kind of been coming pretty big with Instagram. Is there like a little following because of that track?
Yeah, no, I actually I noticed an uptick in followers on Instagram after the song, and I was I'm obviously very grateful for everyone who's followed me on the journey and actually listened to my music as well. It's just it, it's so weird to think about it, because I know myself, and I know that I'm a little bit strange. So yeah, and I in my mind lead a very regular life, and the fact that people spend their time supporting me and like being interested in my music and streaming it it's amazing to think. For me, it's so humbling. And if you when I okay, I don't normally look at the stats, to be honest. I
Yeah.
don't look at it too much, because either I get obsessed over it, or it makes me feel, I don't know. Sometimes I think, I am I do compare myself to other people sometimes, which isn't a healthy habit. So I try really hard not to do that. And I'm just just very grateful for every. I mean, I think my mom might be my biggest fan. She definitely streams a lot. But she kind of has to as well. So
Yeah.
her hands are a little bit tied. I don't even know if she likes it. No, I'm joking.
Sometimes
I'm
I get
joking.
that with family members too, with stuff that I put out there or I do. It's like, do you really like this stuff? I don't know.
Yeah, I know, but hey, it's a stream, so
One stream, yeah, people who like an artist who gets obsessed with numbers. Sir Elton John comes to mind, who you covered one of his
Mm,
songs.
yes, I did.
That's a beautiful version. I heard that, and you're hitting these notes. It's just very smooth, silky. I'm wondering, has he or anybody in his camp heard your version?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I no, I love the song, and I love the feeling of the lyrics as well. It just so happens that actually I ended up putting it out on the same day as the rocket launch of the SpaceX rocket launch. It was really like, it didn't actually, I
Huh?
didn't think of it to I didn't plan it like that. But then as I was about to upload it, it came up on one of the little news flash being like Falcon. And I was like, oh, well, this is great. This just so happens to be today. But I just no, I loved the lyrics, and I wanted to do a bit of a twist on it, and I basically ended up I ended up with this version, which I personally I worked with someone on it, and they did the production and the music, extra kind of musical orchestral details too, and I was so happy with it. I was so happy. I'm actually planning to do another couple of covers as well. So with the same person, because I mean, he's incredible. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
It's a great take on it. It's Rocket Man, for those who might not know. That's
Oh right, yeah, of course. I love that
that
we're
song.
talking like
I'm just such a huge Sir Elton fan. I saw him like 4 or 5 times. It's just
amazing.
plus here in Atlanta, he had, I don't know if he still has it, but he had a place here because he based himself here in the southeast of the US when he would go
All
on.
right,
So
amazing.
David Furnish had a place here, and I saw him. He put on a private concert. I went to one of his private concerts. He put on
No,
amazing.
no, that's so cool. What
Oh,
an experience! What an experience!
yeah, to see him up that close, and it's magic how somebody could work the piano. It's just,
Oh, I know. Oh, amazing. Literally unreal. Um, God, that must have been a hell of an experience.
Yeah, totally. And I'm sure you want to go back and see, huge names in concert too, whenever that starts up in London.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, honestly, as soon as it's open, I'll be there buying tickets to everything. No nights in for me, never.
Amazing. Well, I've had a great time. I really
Thank
enjoyed
you.
this
Me
talk.
too. Me too. Thank you so much for having me on. I mean, what a pleasure. Such a pleasure talking.
I hope that we see you in the States very soon.
Oh, I hope so too. I hope so too. I'll let you know for sure, especially if I'm anywhere near Atlanta. I will absolutely let you know.
Yes, yes. It's catchy stuff. I really, really enjoyed the music. It's just I could see it being I could see it in the top 40 and also in
Thank
commercial
you.
too, where there's money to be made as well, I'm sure.
Thank you so much. That means a lot. Thank you.
Well, best of luck.